Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play the Record of Agarest Senki Mariage. Now, in the last episode, I essentially explained the curriculum of how this game works. But you're going to notice something, how I kind of went ahead and I did some stuff. I mean, I played this game over and over again, and I kind of spent all the money I had, so you'll notice how I dropped from almost what was it, like 5 million, almost 6 million to like 50,000. It's because I was, I don't know, I went ahead and I played this game a little bit, and I went ahead and just got back to where I was in the game, so we're pretty much right back to where we last left off. So, yeah, well, I'll explain everything. If you want to know where all the money went, it essentially bought all this armor. I mean, it's not like it really makes a difference. All you need is at least one of them. And it's funny because I'm going to try and max them out at 99 just because I like this game. And I also went ahead and, I'll explain this still, but I went ahead and, let's see here. So okay, so right here, for example, you see how these are locked. These are actually really interesting, and you can only get them a certain way, and certain enemies only drop them. I went ahead and I got the last ones that I was missing on the save file that I submitted to GameFAQs, so now everybody, it should be 100% complete now, which is nice. So now we're going to go back to this town, and we are going to meet. Okay, I went ahead and I played Agarest Senki 0, which was the Record of Agarest 0. I'm surprised they don't call it Sero, which is how you say 0 in Japanese. So this is what I know about the Agarest games now. I know this game actually makes a lot of sense, and this game is actually the last game in the timeline. So it goes 0, 1, 2, and then Marriage. And all the other Agarest games are kind of like Resident Evil. Like, they're in order. Like, you know, when Resident Evil 1 came out, then they made Resident Evil 0 at some point, and then it went 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I forget exactly where Valkyrie, or not Valkyrie Profile, but Veronica X goes, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, okay, so we come back to the town, and I forget exactly what this town is called. I think it's Alcor. But, essentially what we're doing is, now that we've completed the mission that, you know, now we're taking an even closer look at it. So that's what all the characters are pretty much gasping about. We're going to meet a woman by the name of Cupra. C-U-P-R-A, I believe is how you say it. Cupra. She is actually she hails from... Okay, so I'm still new to the Agarest series, but I finally understand that there's like 12 different races, and they all have, and they were all created by a certain god, a specific god, and the god of the agents. I always thought I thought it was a mistranslation when I first did the opening, and I thought it was like ancient, like god of the ancients, but apparently this is how it works. So you have like the main hero. Then you have a bunch of maidens that are actually there to support the hero, and they have like mystical powers, and they also, but they're not like they're stronger than your average mortal, but they're also at the same time though, you know, they're like guardians towards that work for the gods of the agents, and then the agents that work for the gods themselves, the deities. So again, if you've ever played Agarest 0, you'll know who like Summer Ill is. Kind of sounds like a summer thing, but you know. Those games are hard to beat, man. Or at least Summer Nile is. On hard mode, if you fight him on level 900, it took me 47 minutes to kill him. It's like, he's got to be kidding me, man. But anyways, so the maidens here are just pretty much just talking about, like, you know, this quest they're going on and just understanding. I mean, that's what the first half of this game is pretty much about. It's just understanding, you know, what the Record of Agarest is, and, you know, the people that inhabit it, and then obviously there's people you meet, and then there's obviously enemies that, you know, you keep running into and whatnot. But right now, nothing shady is happening right now. They're pretty much just happy with what's going on. So... Not sure if I showed this off yet, but if you push the start button, it auto scrolls it, and if you push the select button, it'll skip the cutscenes. Like, you'll fly right through it. It's like really like the text just goes light speed. So this is okay. So we just returned the first item. We got the first item, and now we're gonna meet Cupra. This is who she is. She's actually supposed to be. I forget exactly what race it is, but it's essentially the ones that hail from the heavens. I think she's supposed to be a pure. And Kuka's making how big her breasts are. Yeah, I know. But anyways, she hails from the heavens, and I believe she's supposed to be like supposed to be like a race, because you'll notice how her ears, and she has like wings of an angel. She's supposed to have like an angel like race, and there's like not, from what I understand, she's like a full-blooded one, if I'm not mistaken, and so they're like it's a rare race. It's one of the rarest races, and it's not the rarest race, if I'm not mistaken. It's like one of the rare races in Agarest. So essentially, she pretty much introduces herself, and well, she hasn't said her name yet, but now she has. Okay, so essentially we're just learning like who she is, why she had us help her out, and what she wants done. And everybody's intrigued by it. Believe me, I will put the English videos out, and you'll know exactly what's going on. I just can't remember specifically word for word. But I'm just, again, just a reminder. This is just to, until I get the English patch done. This is just to kind of give you an idea, like, because I know there's people that want to play this game very badly, and they're afraid they don't know what's going on, and there's no other videos on YouTube. Unless you watch all my videos. I mean, I do got videos of completing this game multiple times, and, for that good reason, but, even that's not enough to convince some people that, they want it in English, and I can understand why. This game is pretty long, too. So now Rain's like dreaming, apparently. I can only imagine what he's dreaming about. And okay, yeah, in case you don't know, the Agarest series, they kind of do get very heavily involved with romance and make a lot of sexual humor. It's kind of like Disgaea, but without the violence. The cartoon violence. But I love the animations in this game. They did a really good job with them. So, what's going on now? Somewhere along the line, Cupra is going to want to tag along, and we're going to think that it's probably a bad idea we bring her along, and then she scolds us for doing that, and she eventually tracks us down and proves that she's actually useful. She's actually got like mystical powers that, like, she's what is known as a supporting member. You can't play as her, but like, she can use buffing spells and all that. They actually are really useful. So she's really useful to bring along. And Kunka's like trying to say, let's take her with us, and then Rain's like, he's like, hold on a second. He's like, are you sure about this? It's like, wait. And then Panina starts talking about how he's like, she doesn't see anything wrong with that. So. And now even Falcia is intrigued. Yeah, I know. They make this joke a lot, I know. But essentially what's going on now is that, we're pretty much just kind of trying to figure out like what to do next. I mean, there's other things too, but, pretty much talking about like the town itself, where she came from, what she wants to do, what we're going to do next, just pretty much like a meeting. give us a little history on stuff, because she's like supposed to be like she's not super old, but she's like she's kind of like a dragon. She ages very slowly. She can be like, there's a couple other characters later on where we'll find out that they're super old and they don't even look like it. It's really interesting. And Kuka's saying, she's like, why don't we bring her along? She should come with us. Yeah, I wonder why. But everybody's talking about, like, you know, yeah, she's got a lot of good knowledge, and Rain doesn't really feel like he's feeling left out of this one. Rain says he doesn't want to take her at first because he feels like protecting her. He doesn't want her getting hurt. But that's kind of another reason she was sent here, though. She's not just a god of the agent, one of the god of the agents. It's that she hails from such a high authority that she actually is useful, though, and she actually, you know, is trying to find the hero and the maiden so she can help them out. You could essentially say she can predict the future, too, in some aspects. If I got this right. Essentially, like, okay, so now Rain's just embarrassed. What would the hero do? Okay, so we're gonna take her with us right now. She doesn't permanently join us right now, but she's gonna. You remember that little forest we went to? Oh man, this is actually known. Yeah, this is Alcor, and this is the Sleeping Forest. If I got the translation correct, the Sleeping Forest. So, would you like to enter the Sleeping Forest? I love this theme song. I really do. So, okay, so yeah, not much has changed since I just went here 5 minutes ago. Oh yeah, I got to show you something else. I just found this out recently. I was you can actually do this on the world map too. If you actually hold down R and L, it'll actually trigger a battle immediately. So you don't have to run around and do us. It's really nice. And somebody just gained a level and learned something new for their job list. So we're gonna go here. And now we're pretty much lost again. Well, not lost, but we're back at square one. And so now everybody's just debating, like, okay, what do we do now? You know, what do we do differently? And so Cupra is going to actually point us in the right direction because she knows how to get through. We're kind of like escorting her, but at the same time, though, she's kind of with us for a little bit. And she's under the impression that she's traveling with us right now. She doesn't realize that Rain is still not convinced that he doesn't want to take her with us. And so Rain's like, okay, so this forest is big, it's easy to get lost, you know, what do we do? Kunka said something, and Felsia's kind of surprised. Panina's mentioning something about the forest. Kunka's dreaming again. I think she's dreaming about Cupra. I don't know. That's what I always thought she was dreaming about. Anyways, easy enemies. So, yeah. Again, I'm doing more damage than you'll probably be able to do. Okay, so I'm just going to switch over to... I just found this out recently, but apparently, you notice how, like, again, look at the elemental resistance. Like, if I was to do this... Okay, this is the secret armor in the game. For some reason, it stops counting at 9, but you can actually go over it. So I think you can still max 99 out of it. But anyways. So I just gave everybody the resistant armor again. But if you notice how... I have to give them the best items. Hold I think it's strange because, like, you know, I noticed this recently, but apparently I was looking on some Japanese websites just to see if I could find some extra information. You know, websites that you wouldn't even know existed, but they do nonetheless. And there's people that have actually done walkthroughs of this game, so I found some additional information. And I think it's interesting because, like, what they said was, so, like, for example, depending on the characters, like, if they have 50% more higher resistant. So like Rain, if he's got fire, like his attack power goes up by 50%. And I think all the other, I think there's one for like every group here. And because this literally gives you resistance, like all the characters get like these like, I'm not sure about Light and Shadow or Light and Darkness, Holy and Darkness. But I know, for example, though, that like they all, like the first 4 elements, they have like their own group of like certain animations or certain they give you like a hidden ability. This music is so damn good. But yeah, anyways, so you know, it's really interesting. Like all the characters can have like these abilities. I'm not sure if it's only like, you know, Rain gets fire only, and then Kunkka gets one, and then Felsia. I don't know, but I know like there's like different abilities for like different characters because like their elemental resistance goes up a specific much. It's strange, but it just works. Okay, so now we can find our way through here. Okay, now here's the first boss. Well, technically the second, but you know, he's not really that hard to beat. He's just a giant gargoyle that is terrorizing the town, or rather terrorizing the woods. So now everybody's ready. So everybody's ready. Okay, don't blink. He's dead. He got killed by a scythe. So yeah, okay, that shouldn't, you shouldn't be able to kill him in one hit, but you know, you'll definitely have to. So yeah, he's dead, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, he can't do anything about it. So, Kunkka, Felsia, my. Everybody's like, all like, what do we do now? Now that we killed him, the town is in peace again. And Rain gives Felsia a compliment, saying that she did a good job. And there's something else he's mentioning. She's like, you did a good job. Yep, everybody's happy. For now. Okay, so now here's another thing I gotta mention about these dungeons. You might have cleared the dungeon, but there's a few exceptions later on where you don't have to do this, but this is something that I need to point out. Okay, so this is what is known. You can warp out of a dungeon with these items. These ones right here, these blue orbs. The problem is, though, you have to go up to here and exit manually in order to get the next area to open up. So it's always important that you do that, if you didn't already know this. So again, we're just killing enemies, not really anything too bad, too terribly wrong. Alright, and then we can just again hold down R and L, and it immediately triggers a fight. You don't have to hold it down for so long, you know, just once the game allows you to trigger a battle, you can. What I also like about this is if you like stay idle on the animation, like your character will zoom in on you. That's pretty cool. Okay, so here's the second town in the game. I think it's Dubay, if I remember correctly. So alright, so here we have everybody's complimenting on how huge it is, and it's probably just as good as the other one. Everybody's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a good old time here. Essentially what's going on. And something else too. So yeah, now that we're in this town, we got more events we can Yeah, everybody's gonna rest here. And here we are at the other inn. And so now we're good. Again, I like the animations, like the backgrounds and all that. Believe it or not, there was like almost 150 people that made this game. If I remember counting that many in the credits that contributed somehow into this level. Let's see here. Falcia is mentioning somebody. Ah, Falcia. So, yep. So what do we do here? And so Rain's talking to an NPC right now. He doesn't have a name specifically, and they're essentially telling him something that he didn't already know. Again, go to the cafe. They'll give you a bunch of useful information. There's a few times later on where the cafe doesn't necessarily tell us everything, like at once. There's one part later on where you can actually come back and talk. You can talk to everybody, and if you trigger a certain event and come back, there's another conversation. And I'm not just talking about event conversations, but so it's real easy to miss it. It's not like they give you anything. It's just like you wouldn't know it's there, but just one question. All right, so technically speaking, all right, so here's how we get the animations or the illustrations I was mentioning earlier. Every so often there's like certain cutscenes you have to trigger in order to get them. Like they're all done at the end, except for the first one, which was in the endings, which are done at the end. This one can be, so everybody's like going to sleep. Here's another one that's gonna pop up. That's gonna be really funny. Rain's gonna go to sleep, and this isn't the only time when like there's gonna be like several characters that are gonna go to sleep and they'll have a dream about somebody else, and they'll wake up and it'll be like, oh, it's a dream. So everybody's just kind of talking about the adventure so far, talking about how everything is like all great and what to do next. And they start talking about themselves a little bit more, like who they are. Everybody goes their separate ways now. So Falcia is happy. Yep. Yep. So everybody's got their moments. All right. So Rain's gonna fall asleep. He's just thinking about everybody else, wondering, they're such great people. And it's his job as the hero, and he knows he's going to do really well doing what he does. Okay, so now he falls asleep. So he's going to have a dream that, it's supposed to be like a school thing all of a sudden. Like, he's got Falcia as a maid. He's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, I brought you something. She's like, here, let me help you out with something. She's gonna start throwing things at him. She bonked him on the head. And if you look really closely right here, I forget what this sign says, but this is like in Japanese. I'm not sure if it says Agarest or if it says Alcorin or something like that. Dubai. It looks like an A. So now, he's like, what do you mean? So, Rain and, okay, so Falcia is here, and so is Kunka. He's like, what are you doing here? She's dressed up like a schoolgirl, and she's got a flute. A recorder, sorry. She's talking about how making jokes about high school, or making jokes about school. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're not in school. And then Panina is supposed to be the teacher. She's gonna slap him a few times. She says, you can't speak to me like that. She's reminding him that he is in class and class is in session. And then Falcia is saying, hey, like saying, Rain, why are you getting all mad? You know, it's like, nothing, there's nothing wrong here. So Kunka's like, he's like, Rain, she's like, why don't you stay a little bit longer? She's like, we'll do something fun. And Rain's going crazy because, you know, he knows something's not right here. She's like, where are you going, Rain? Something about, like, she's the teacher and, you know, you can't run away. And then Kunka's just playing a tune in the background. And then Rain's like, what? A dream? He's like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. He's like, you gotta be kidding. Okay, so this is something else that's really interesting. I forgot to mention this. This just means like all their heart levels go up. Okay, for speedrun purposes, okay, this is something I want to mention. Maybe. I've always had a theory. I haven't put this to the use yet. But the idea is that every time you play this game, you have what is known as these heart levels. Now, again, I'm not sure about the other Agarest games, how they have, like, how they work their relationship levels. I forget exactly how that works in the game. But I can tell you, because I've played this game so many damn times, like 21 times from start to finish. This is not the 22nd playthrough. I've noticed that, you know, when you raise these heart levels, and once they max out, they become pink. The idea is that the higher they go up, the more you have to do chain attacks, and, like, you know, when you trigger, like, events like this right here, when we go into the inn and we have, like, these conversations with the two or the three maidens, it essentially means, okay, so that's the secret dungeon. It's the rainbow spire pinnacle. Anyways, we're gonna go back here. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say, though, is that if you actually save, like, some of these events and just raise the heart levels a little bit at the beginning and then go back and get these, you know, you can do chain attacks a lot less when the hearts are lower, and you can save a lot more time. So, like, for example, rather than just triggering these events, like, what I'll do is I'll just go right here, and we'll just do this. So we'll just keep doing chain attacks until you know, until we raise the heart levels a few times, or we'll just do this Sword of Demise, or not Sword of Demise, Sword of Twilight Demise. And essentially what I just did there was we just raised the maiden's heart levels a little bit. Now, you wouldn't have access to this because apparently you have to do some stuff. But what I'm trying to show you, though, is you would just have to rely on attacks. Anyways, so in order to get these events to trigger at the, you have to just do one chain attack with all the maidens, I think is how that works. And then you go back to like every one of these towns so often has so like for example, like every town has like a conversation here. So like for example, Felsia, Kunka, Penina, and eventually after the heart level changes, certain colors, like they'll make love one time with the hero, and then they'll gain more powers. Yeah, this game, like I said, this game's got like a lot of heavily romance. That's what I like about it. But just to show it off a little bit. But anyways, so anyways, you know, yeah, we just go on the world map and fight some more enemies. And tell me these guys don't look like the Chews from they look like the Chews from Wind Waker. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. I'm sure a lot of people remember that game. So anyways, they're dead. And I win. But anyways, so yeah, not only that, but I mean, we're just I'm just raising some of the heart levels because what's really interesting though is technically speaking, you can act. It's what is known as the ceremony. It's like a love ceremony and with the maidens and all that. I forget specifically 100% like what it's called though. But the idea is that even when you go to the first town, you can actually like once you get the heart levels like high enough, you can actually trigger like conversations that they will actually make love and like their heart levels go up and like their GP down below will go up by 25%. In Gen 2, there's a couple times where they do, you have to do it like 4 or 5 times to get it by like up to 100%. You get an additional 100. And it can help out a lot. But yeah, anyways, it's just how this works. But anyways, so yeah, so just keep doing this. So. See, like you see how the heart levels are going up already a little bit. Again, it doesn't really look like it at first, but it's kind of important to get these as high as you possibly can. But this is just going to give me some more time to explain some stuff. But throughout this whole game, you're going to come to like certain areas. They all have like different, you know, there's like certain things that, you know, we come across that we'll just have to overcome. So yeah, we're not really familiar with who the villain is yet. Believe me, I'm not going to introduce you to him until we run into him. He's not from the other Agarest games. He's just kind of his own person, though. It's really interesting. So yeah, let's just keep doing this. Excuse me. Shouldn't have drank that tea I did earlier. Anyways, killed him. Now that's taken care of. But now that we got killed him, he's dead again. Now everybody's learned some more skills. You know what's funny? I just noticed this. These right here are the same. If you play Tales of Destiny Director's Cut, the remake, the Mystic Arts are actually like this. That's the symbol for them. Or something pretty close to it anyways. So yeah, I can't do that. That's cool, it's like they generated a force field. Oh no, he hurt Kunka. But we killed him. So, yep. That's how that works. So the heart levels don't really look like they go up too fast. And they'll stop going up to a certain point. After a certain point, they'll stop going up so fast. So I'm going to trigger some of these events now. And okay, you can play these events out of order. They're not necessarily 100% missable either, as long as you don't go to the next generation, which only happens after you kill the last boss of Chapter 1. And I'll let you know ahead of time when that is. But right now, we are just going to play these events in order and trigger all the cutscenes that come out with it. So anyways, Felsia is talking about how, you know, like, everything's going really well so far. You know who she is. So she's kind of opening up to Rain a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, I think she starts out with a higher base level of friendship with Rain over Kunka and Panina. Because I know it goes, Kunka has like the second highest, and then Panina has the third highest, even though they're all like very friendly to each other. But the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, Panina actually knew Rain more than Kunka did. And, Felsia knew Rain more than Kunka and Panina did. And so Felsia is kind of like the kind of woman that she's like responsible and sweet and always looks out for everybody. So I'm trying to think what specifically she's saying right now, but she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it." Rain's talking about how something still bothers him, and Felsia kind of scolds Rain at the same time, and she slaps him. She's like, "Wow." She slapped him so hard he fainted. She slapped him so hard he fainted. So we'll go with Kunka now. Oi, Kunka-san. And so I love the cat ears she has, I really do. So she's kind of mad at Rain. She's kind of saying things about him. But at the same time, she's kind of sad too. And now she's got that mad face on. I really forget specifically what she was talking about, but she was referring that Rain forgot something. And that it's all his fault. Well, okay, here's another thing that's really interesting. That just says Kunka's heart level went up. The thing that you got to understand about this game is that all the characters... Okay, so Felsia, I believe Felsia is supposed to be like 100% human. Kunka is half human and half animal. And Panina is 100% human too. Because again, there's so many different races in the series. I just forget exactly where they come from. Oh no, I remember now. Actually, if I remember correctly, Panina was half of. There's like this dark race that she belongs to, and then there's like. And Felsia is supposed to be like half elf, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I'll update you on the whole thing later on once I figure this out. It's kind of funny though, because Felsia, or not Felsia, but Panina has always been my favorite. You know, I like the way she's got her hair tied up. It's really cool. But I always thought it was pretty cool because I like her eye color. I love the, you know, people always tell me that they always say that, they always ask me, like, why do I love, like, Asian games better than, like, games, like, over here in the Western audience? It's because they put a lot of more time and effort into them. And, like, you know, like, I mean, again, like, the animations are really good in this game. And so they're pretty much talking about, like, who she, like, all the characters are pretty much talking about, like, who they are individually. That's pretty much what this one's all about. And, again, Felsia, or Panina is like this really calm woman, and she pretty much pokes fun of Rain and flirts with him because she likes him a lot. Again, if you remember I forget if it was part 2 or part 1, but essentially, like, you know, she was poking fun of Rain and all these funny things about him. So again, she's saying that maybe they should go do something special and uncover some truth, too. Alright, so their heart level goes up. Alright, and I'm going to take a break, and we will be right back with this whole thing. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, favorite, and share this video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Later, everybody.